Gunfire at an apartment complex pool left a local father dead, but questions loom tonight surrounding the security guard and the deadly West Side shooting. Eyewitnesses tell Bexar County Sheriff's investigators the victim was actually the aggressor, but neighbors say the shooting was unjustified. Eyewitness News reporter Aaron Wright tells us where the investigation now stands.
A much quieter scene here at the 30 Oaks Apartments. Crime scene tape is gone, but the investigation into a shooting that took a father's life is still underway.
According to BCSO, a private security officer was conducting his rounds at the complex and found Nicholas Bosch inside the pool area around 11. The pool is supposed to be empty by 10.
The person was in the pool area and asked to get out of the pool area, and from there he did get out of the pool area and an altercation occurred.
The security officer told authorities he used pepper spray to defend himself against Bosch. Investigators say a physical fight took place and the guard fired several rounds, striking Bosch. An eyewitness told deputies the victim was the aggressor and that he attacked the security guard. Neighbors who declined to go on camera tell me they are shocked and saddened by the shooting. One provided these photos of the aftermath, including a bloody sidewalk where the victim was left on the ground. Neighbors say Bosch was a father and lived at the complex. Two people told me a young boy who saw the shooting was Bosch's son. He was checked out by EMS at the scene and will be interviewed by a forensic specialist later. A representative for statewide patrol confirmed they provide security at 30 Oaks, but declined to comment on the shooting. The apartment complex shared a statement with residents and Eyewitness News, saying they are fully cooperating with law enforcement during their investigation. In West Bexar County, Aaron Wright, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.